man and 11 dogs were trapped on an ice floe. They were a full 10 meters away from the shore. Getting to shore seemed almost hopeless. But the man Sepp picked up the lead dog Togo, and with all his strength threw him toward the opposite shore. This throw risked all their lives. Togo had to pull the entire ice floe by himself. He arched his lean and tough body, dug his claws deep into the snow, and charged forward desperately. The rope was pulled taut. Sepp shouted encouragement from behind, but how could Togo, at 12 years old and very aged for a dog, pull such a heavy ice floe? Hearing his companions behind him cheering him on, Togo quickly adjusted his rhythm and leaped forward step by step. Finally, the ice began to move slowly. Seeing this, Sepp immediately pulled up the iron stake, gave a command, and all the dogs pushed forward together, finally making it to land in a thrilling escape. Togo did it. He completed this nearly impossible rescue by himself. However, no one could have imagined that Togo nearly died at birth. He was not a purebred, weak and sickly from a young age, and was saved by Sepp's wife when he was on the verge of death. But Sepp thought he was too fragile and should be left to natural selection. But his wife could not bear it. She patiently watched over and cared for Togo. A month later, Togo not only recovered miraculously but also burst with amazing energy. He chewed on furniture, disobeyed commands, and even the experienced Sepp could not handle him, so he had to lock him in the dog pen. But this small enclosure could not hold him. Togo dug holes in the pen to escape and even led other dogs in a jailbreak. The next day, Sepp brought stones to block the dog pen securely, but he still underestimated Togo's determination. When one hole was blocked, he dug a second, a third, and so on until the seventh hole, where Togo finally found a way out and escaped. He managed to catch up with Sepp's sled team and stop them abruptly. Just as Sepp was about to get angry, Togo turned and led the other dogs to chase a herd of deer, completely ignoring Sepp's anger and panic, until both man and sled were pulled into the river. Sepp was furious and angrily carried him back. He turned the tool shed into Togo's personal prison. At first, Togo nervously ran around crashing into things, but he soon calmed down. He began to observe his surroundings, saw the gap in the ventilation duct, and found a new escape route. First, he found the entrance to a cabinet, used his own advantages to climb and jump, and finally reached the ventilation duct, escaping once again. Repeated disobedience finally enraged Sepp, and he resolved to give the dog away, telling the new owner to keep him locked up. Togo ran around the house but found no exit. In desperation, he jumped out the window and ran for dozens of kilometers. With some innate sense of direction, Togo appeared again on Sepp's training path. Sepp was stunned, but looking at his paws cut by the glass, he finally softened and decided to give him another chance. But Togo refused to stay put in the sled, always rushing to the front of the dog team, acting as if he insisted on being the lead dog. Sepp did not know whether to laugh or cry, so he moved him to the last row and had him stay with the fiercest dog. But unexpectedly, Togo was adaptable. He instantly humbled himself, acted obediently to show goodwill, and became a follower. During training, Sepp was surprised to find that Togo was extremely fast. The dogs behind could not keep up, so he had to move him forward again and again.